Hello everybody, my name is Christian and welcome back to Christian's Weather and Forecasting. Along the U.S., we had a little bit of some calmer style weather. We did have that atmospheric river kind of hit the California area, but besides that going on and that it dumping that snow and that rain, the rest of the United States has been relatively calm. But right now that's going to change. We have multiple days with tornado threats, wind threats, hail threats. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Also, I would like to give a big shout out to Risker as being one of the new thumbnail designers. So if you like the new thumbnail, he made that. Hopefully he'll be able to make more in the future. And let's go ahead and dive right into it. For today, the National Weather Service has issued a slight risk of severe weather through central Texas, a marginal risk of severe weather stretching all the way into portions of Louisiana and Mississippi, and then a general thunderstorm risk from Pennsylvania to New York, and then all the way over to portions of Arizona. And you can hear my dog in the background. Okay. The tornado threat isn't as big for this set of storms in itself. This is just going to be a 2% tornado risk, where we're seeing that slight risk due to central Texas, and the marginal risk over towards Louisiana and Mississippi. Wind threat is 5% right here, so once again, where you're seeing that slight and that marginal risk. But your main threat, which once again, little weird to see, is your hail threat, and that's going to be a significant event for the central Texas area, where that slight risk is, and then that 5% where the marginal risk is. And the National Weather Service is saying that thunderstorms with large hail, isolated damaging winds, and a tornado or two are expected from Texas to Mississippi through this evening, and especially across central Texas overnight. You can pause this to read this. I'll scroll through it really quick. It's not a lot for this one. But day 2 is what's going to be looking more interesting. Day 2, we have a slight risk of severe weather through portions of southeastern Texas, central to southern Louisiana, central southern Mississippi, and towards portions of western Alabama, and a little pinch of Florida there. This is a mainly driven tornado threat for the most part. There is that 5% tornado threat where we're seeing that slight, and then a 2% where we're seeing that more marginal risk area. Wind for this one is going to be 15% where we're seeing that slight risk, 5% where we're seeing that marginal risk, and then hail is going to be 15% towards more of the central slight risk, and then a 5% where we're seeing that marginal risk. So for this storms particularly, all threats are possible: tornado, wind, and hail about the same amount. So make sure you're keeping an eye on that. And if we scroll down the summary, severe thunderstorms are expected from southeast Texas into portions of the lower Mississippi Valley vicinity on Sunday. Large hail, damaging wind gusts, and tornadoes are all possible. And for the hypnosis, once again, you can pause and you can read that if you wish. But when I said the week's going to be active, I'm not finished just yet. We have a day 3 risk as well, from a slight risk for portions of eastern Alabama, northern Florida, to southern Georgia, and then over to western portions of South Carolina. There is that slight risk of severe weather, marginal risk, and then that general thunderstorm risk stretching even to portions of eastern southern Kentucky. This probabilistic of being anything is a 15% chance, so once again, we're going to have a possibility of seeing that 2, maybe 5% tornado threat, 15% wind, 15% hail, kind of just, what we're seeing from day 2 kind of move over and re-strengthen for day 3. National Weather Service isn't highlighting much for hail, but the summary states that there are thunderstorm clusters associated with isolated wind damage, and a tornado threat will be likely across parts of southeast on Monday. And once again, you can read the hypnosis if you wish. It's right here. You can pause and read. Now, let me show you guys what we're looking at right now for the radar omega area. Right now, there is just some general thunderstorms going on, stretching anywhere from Tennessee down into portions of Texas. And this will continue to happen for the next couple hours. This will bring a possibility for those winds and isolated hail threat, maybe even a tornado or two. But this in itself, well, I did see a severe thunderstorm warning earlier, but this in itself is not the main event. And I'm going to show you what it is in just a sec. 6 and 7 o'clock, this is going to move out of Texas, a little bit of strengthening over into portions of Mississippi. Once again, that's not going to be a threat. What main threat is going to be is what's going to be back here, and this is going to start up about 11 or 12, and this is going to strengthen towards Abilene. It's going to and San Angelo, and this little area right here is what's going to bring that isolated tornado threat. And with the HRRR, you can see it strengthening. The pink will be a possibility of some of that hail there. The north of Caryville is what the model's showing. And this is what's going to bring that frontline wind, that hail, and that tornado threat. Let's go ahead and switch over to the NAM3K and see what that's going to bring towards the future. Now, about 5-6 a.m. is when the storm is looking like it's going to be its most peak intensity for portions of Texas. This is going to move off to the east between 7, 8, and 9 p.m. Towards 10 a.m., portions of the Dallas area will be getting some of that rain impacts. There looks to be like a little bit of kind of like that supercell activity as some of these storms kind of breaking up right here. So we'll have a possibility where that to be that general tornado threat. By 3-4 p.m., Louisiana will be seeing kind of the storms, the kind of broken clusters. And then by 1-2 a.m., this will kind of die off a little bit, move into New Orleans, in which once again that will re-strengthen towards the day and will bring that threat for the more day 2, day 3. So here we are on the pivotal weather model, and let's go ahead and kind of dive into what's going to happen. Right here towards the back is where the storm's going to be forming through the 11th, the 12th, and 2 portions of the 13th. This will be stretching from anywhere from Florida up the east coast a little ways towards portions of Kentucky. This storm in itself, where the colder temperatures will be up north, will have the possibility to bring some rear snow and freezing rain to it towards portions of Kentucky, Ohio. This will continue to move up the coast toward the New York area, towards like Vermont, New Hampshire, up into Maine, before eventually that just moves off in its own self. And now it'll remain quiet for maybe a day or so before once again it kind of sparks back up towards the north, where we're going to see a possibility of that snow activity towards Maine and areas like that. But like that, we also have an area down here towards the south that's going to be sparking some severe weather towards portions of Texas. That will move off to the east towards Florida. Once again, we'll bring a possibility of that snow threat towards portions of the Carolinas, Virginias, areas like that. And as that moves off to the east, another area towards the back of it will be that freezing rain, that snow, and will move up the coast a little ways. As well as that, towards the back of this, again, another low front will form, bringing rain to portions of the Ohio Valley, with a little bit of that line of snow possible as well. So besides that, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to tune in to the next one. I'll try to make some daily videos for the next couple days if the weather seems like it needs to have them. Also, once again, giving a special thanks to Risker for the thumbnails. Have a great day, and I will see you guys in the next one.